Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Boxing at the Beach from the Bay Oaks Recreation Center on Fort Myers Beach in sunny Fort Myers Beach, Florida. I'm Charles Hidalgo along with Steve Canton bringing you SJC Boxing. We have 13 bouts on tap for you tonight, including 10 clubs from across Florida and Georgia. And joining me tonight is the SJC founder, Steve Canton.
Charlie, we're looking forward to a great show tonight. The crowd is here. They're very enthusiastic. We're going to have bouts in the Junior Olympic division, novice division, and we're going to finalize with one great heavyweight clash with two of the top fighters in the country in the heavyweight division, Florida versus Georgia. Great show.
And starting off with the first bout of the evening, it's a couple of, young lads. They're 10 and 11 years old and boxing in a weight range between one is 61 pounds, the other is 64.
We're looking forward to this first bout here, Charlie. We've got Samuel Watts from the Jacksonville PAL. He is the 10-year-old. He does weigh 61 pounds. He brings a record of 6 wins and 1 loss into the bout. And he goes against Matthew Bargeron from the Augusta PAL in Georgia, the 11-year-old.
Watts boxing out of the red corner, Bargeron out of the blue. And the fight underway with a flurry of punches.
I know these kids were all pumped up. There's a slip right there, Charlie. These kids were all pumped up. They're coming out here to fight the hearts out. It is Florida versus Georgia. This was a long-anticipated bout this year.
That's Bargeron in the blue trunks and Watts in the red. And the flurry of punches are fast and furious in this, the first of 3 one-minute rounds. Right, Steve?
Well, Charlie, what's happening is the JOs, it goes by age group in the amateurs. The JOs, the little guys like this, will be fighting 1-minute rounds. As they graduate in age, they'll move up to 1.5 minutes, and we'll have 2-minute rounds in the novice division, and then the heavyweights, the open bouts, are 3 minutes. So it does vary by age and experience, gives the kids a good start. There's a lot of rules in amateur boxing, a little different than pro. We'll try to fill you in on those as the evening progresses. Meanwhile, on the show tonight, you'll notice that the boxer in the blue the blue gloves will be in the blue corner, red gloves in the red corner, easily identified that way. That's the end of the first good round.
That was just 1 minute. So I guess it's tough for 8-year-olds to have the stamina early in their careers to go 3 minutes. If you've ever boxed before, 3 minutes in a boxing ring seems like eternity.
It sure does. And it gives the kids a good start. Amateur boxing starts out at 8 years of age.
And there's the tail of the tape. Samuel Watts, age 10, 61 pounds, with a 6-1 record out of Jacksonville, the Police Athletic League, the club he boxes for. And Matthew Bargeron, age 11, 64 pounds, a 3-2 win-loss record, boxing out of the club from Augusta, Georgia.
Right, and in the club out of Georgia, Charlie, they've got the top club in the country at the present time. They got several national champions on that club. Coach Tom Moritas, Coach Joel Hudson, Mr. Hudson with us tonight with his team. They actually split their team up because they had another commitment, their state Silver Gloves, going on the same very night.
Steve, how much of a break between rounds do these kids get?
They do get 1 minute, so they're on for a minute and off for a minute.
And the second round underway, and again with a flurry of punches. Watts landing a strong right and putting some pressure. He's backing Bargeron into the ropes. Now into the center of the ring, the action moves.
They're standing toe-to-toe, Charlie. Young kids punching their hearts out.
They're certainly not dancing around the ring, Steve. They're going right at one another. Now they're starting to move onto their toes, although it looks like more movement being made by Samuel Watts in the red trunks.
And Matthew Bargeron, the boxer in the blue corner, he's a lot more aggressive, and he's coming forward a lot more, landing more punches. He's working off a jab. They've got their hands up held high. They've got pretty good balance for young kids.
Bargeron has actually just landed a series of about 4 straight jabs, uncontested by Watts.
And Watts is a good, tough fighter. He's had a little better record, a 6-1 record. Bargeron's got a 3-2 record, but they're both talented for their young age. That's the end of round 2.
That's the end of round 2, and it's tough to say who has an edge in these fights. They're scoring on the blow-by-blow system, a point scored for each punch landed, not the power of the punch, but however, if contact is made, the points are scored. And we do have officials here. Maybe you have that list of who's keeping score tonight. The officials, the judge is Nick Cemento, the timekeeper is Joyce Cemento, the referee is A.D. Di Capua, and there's another referee later on, Vic De Waisaki. Another judge is Charlie Null and Larry Steinborn, the other official.
Right. Charlie, all bouts are sanctioned by the Florida Association of USA Boxing. Nick Cimeno is the president, and as you said, he's one of the judges tonight. Joyce Cimeno is the registration chairperson, so all the kids that compete have to be registered in their association. Joyce does a great job with that. Our referee this first bout is Vic D. Wysocki, and Charlie Null and Larry Steinborn are the judges for this first bout.
Round 3 underway, and Bargeron comes right at Watts, backing him up again, but Watts now again on the counterattack. Bargeron landing a series of jabs, and an exchange made as well. Now up against the ropes in the blue trunks, it's Bargeron taking some hits. He took a hit there to the head, and he seems to be staggered, but he composes himself and gets right back in the ring, trying to defend himself. I would say Watts getting the better of Bargeron at this point in this late third round. Bargeron seeming to have the footwork. Watts lunging at Bargeron and missing. Now again, Bargeron, the aggressor. Watts misses.
Bargeron is working off a jab. There's a jab right there in the blue, from the blue corner. Jab right hand is stepping around. That's the end of the bout. Good bout, first bout of the night.
Those guys were toe-to-toe as though they were going to try to knock each other out.
Does go to Matthew Bargeron, bringing his record to 4-2 from Augusta. So,
and deservedly so. A good match fought by both fighters, but Bargeron the winner of the first bout.
And therefore, Georgia gets first blood over Florida in this rivalry. We'll see what happens.
Coming up next, a match between two fighters, one out of Jacksonville, the other out of SJC. Quentin Willis will be fighting Delvin Watts from Jacksonville. Stay tuned. We'll be coming back with that bout right after this message.
Enjoy a symphony of savings. Flea Masters, Fort Myers.
Gone, it can't be true, but where are the smiles and the happy days when it was you? Filling my empty dream, reaching my heavy heart, I thought we'd make more of the start, at our one chance at love. The world, I'd have faced it just for you.
Welcome back to Boxing from the Beach. We're at the Bay Oaks Recreation Center. I'm Charles Hidalgo along with Stephen Canton, and the second bout coming up, it's Devlin Watts out of Jacksonville, Florida versus Quentin Lewis of Fort Myers' own SJC Boxing Club.
Right. Delvin Watts is the brother of Sam Watts, who fought previously from Jacksonville. Quentin Willis, one of 3 boxing Willis brothers on the SJC team. Younger brother Marcus, an 8-year-old, and coming up later tonight, the older brother Larry Willis Jr.
And there's the tail of the tape. You see, not much of a difference between the two. 1 year in age, 3 pounds in weight difference. Devlin Watts looking for his first victory. Quentin Willis has 1 win and no loss record. And the bout about to begin.
Here we go with the first round, Charlie.
They're motioning in the center of the ring with a flurry of activity.
Yeah, Watts comes out strong.
A lot of arm slapping there. No gloves are actually landed.
Right.
Now Watts comes at him, but Quentin Willis answers with a left jab. Now an exchange in the corner, and
it was
Willis.
A nice turnaround right there, Charlie, from Quentin, and he's keeping the pressure up with these combinations. Referee stops it. He's going to take a good look at Delvin here. He's giving him a standing 8 count. And evaluate the fighter, see if he can continue.
Willis landed several blows to the head of Watts, and although they wear that headgear, those blows do hurt still. And the referee calls it.
He called it. That's an RSC in the first round. And
RSC?
Referee stops the contest, Charlie, and Quentin Willis wins his second bout. Great show.
An unblemished record for Quentin Willis. He moves up to 2-0, while Devlin Watts falls to 0-3. And there it is, victory. Ah, so sweet. We'll be back with more fights.
The word is out. Footsie's Footwear has deep discounts on name brand athletic shoes for the entire family. With over 10,000 pairs in stock, Footsie's will help you find the shoes you need for an active lifestyle. Choose from Nike, Reebok, Avia, Adidas, and many more in sizes to fit everyone. And don't forget the Bigfoot department with men's sizes 13 to 17. And ladies, Footsie's has many varieties of Sandax sandals. You won't find a better selection than at Footsie's Footwear in the Flea Masters Flea Market, Fort Myers.
Be proud of your state, take pride in the land. There's a clean way to live and it's time to make a stand.
Get that sunshine state of mind and keep Florida beautiful. Use your litter bag or garbage can.
It's a statement for carrying a stage, lush and green. It's a statement for love. So keep Florida clean. It's that sunshine state of mind. Got to keep Florida clean.
Welcome back to SJC Boxing at the Beach. And in the blue corner, it's Jason Pinckney out of Georgia. And in the red corner, Eric Luned, the lone boxer out of Miami in bout number 3.
This is going to be a good match. Eric Luned representing the Leprechaun Boxing Club in Miami. And a special favor from Coach Patrick Burns. We wanted to get all of the fighters from Georgia matched up. And Eric was a perfect match for Jason Pinckney. So Patrick Burns had him come up here with the Hialeah team. We'd like to thank Patrick Burns for that. This is going to be a very, very exciting bout, I think. Luned we've seen previously. Good balance, good boxer. Has a record of 6-1. Jason Pinckney, 8-2 record. Very experienced 10-year-old from Georgia.
They're both similar in age, 10 and 11, and in weight as well, 69 and 72 pounds.
The reach is the same, 55 inches each.
We'll have the tail of the tape in a little bit as round 1 underway. Again, these boxers coming right at each other. Luned wearing the green trunks and green jersey, boxing out of the Leprechaun Club. I don't know if that's a coincidence that the green and the name of the club is Irish or the color green associated with that, but that's who that boxer is, and in the red, white, and blue is Jason Pinckney.
Right, and Charlie, you know, down there we said the Leprechaun Boxing Club, Coach Patrick Burns, long recognized, one of the top amateur coaches in the country, has worked with the U.S. Olympic boxing team, also trains some of the best professional boxers in the country. He also has worked with Philip Jackson, who just challenged Lennox Lewis for the world heavyweight title a while back.
And round 1 ends, just 1 minute of fighting there, and Pinckney showed some good self-defense there. There's the tail of the tape. Eric Luned, age 11, 69 pounds, with a 6-1 record out of the Leprechaun BC Club in Miami, boxing club. And Jason Pinckney, age 10, 72 pounds, an 8-2 record out of Augusta, Georgia.
Luned's lone defeat was at the hands of Quentin Willis, who we saw in bout number 2 tonight. Back in August, they boxed, and it was a great show that night. Eric was 2-0, and Willis was making his fighting his first bout. Willis won that decision. That's the only loss so far in Eric's record.
Yeah, you try and match up the boxers so that there's no physical advantage for one boxer to the other, although I believe there's no particular weight classes associated with at this level of boxing. You just try and match up boxers that will put together a fair and competitive bout.
Yeah, we try to keep them matched evenly. We want to have them matched by experience, by size. We watch them very closely. Boxing is very safe, and here can go at round 2. Also, when the conclusion is upon us, both boxers get trophies in these shows, so there is no losers.
Jason Pinckney showing a good defense there, holding his gloves up high and around his head. However, Eric Luned, the aggressor in this second round so far early, landing a series of combinations.
I like the way Luned moves, changes directions, has good balance with his footwork, throws his combination, gets in, gets back out. Very, very skillful boxer, age 11.
Well, you can often tell a boxer is winning or losing just by watching his feet. And if you look at the feet of Luned, they're moving, they're dancing. They're making it very difficult for Pinckney to land a solid punch. As he's learned early in his young career, that it's a movement sport. You got to keep your feet moving and your body moving, otherwise you're going to get hit. There's Pinckney trying to land some blows, backing up Luned against the ropes, but the referee breaks it up. A nice block there by Pinckney, again showing some fine defensive work. However, I think Luned there landed more blows in that 1 minute bout. That was the end of round 2.
Luned switched back to southpaw occasionally, too, to try to confuse Pinckney, and it looked like it did some work on that.
Luned looking for his 7th win against just 1 loss, and Jason Pinckney trying to up his 8-2 record. Right now, it's tough to say who exactly is winning this bout because the punches are coming so fast and so often. And from the vantage point we have here in the ring, away from the ring, it's tough to count every blow and know accurately if it landed or not.
Yeah, I would say right now, Luned's got a slight advantage. He's won both rounds, in my opinion, close rounds. So we'll see what happens in his 3rd and final round. The judges, Nick Cimento, Larry Steinborn, Charlie Dahl, doing a good job for us, and referee is Vic DeWysocki tonight.
Luned has definitely been the aggressor. However, Pinckney is showing some great defense, and boxing is, after all, the art of self-defense. But if you want to win, though, you do have to land some blows. Round 3 underway, and Pinckney this time coming at Luned, but Luned actually slips in a right jab. And again, Luned showing that fancy footwork as he dances around the ring, and Pinckney swings and misses. Perhaps Pinckney knows that he's in trouble and has to start landing some punches here. He's coming right at Luned. Luned just trying to stay out of trouble. He knows perhaps he's won the first 2 rounds. If he can just hang on and not get hurt, he can pull this fight out.
Pinckney is following Luned around the ring instead of cutting the ring, something he's going to have to learn as he progresses. Luned's dancing all around and causing Pinckney to follow him, and then he stops and counters.
Pinckney also kind of flat-footed, too, trying to perhaps land some punches that'll hurt him. But he's got to land combinations and really score to win this bout. And that's it. Fight's over. Eric Luned, the winner, convincingly winning, I would say, at least 2 of the 3 rounds, and moves up to 7-1. Jason Pinckney out of Atlanta, Georgia, falls to 8-3. We'll have another good fight coming your way. A couple of 80-pounders, 87, 85-pounders, right after this word from one of our sponsors.
Generations of delicious food and the sophistication of a New York atmosphere come together at Gabriello's. The many delicacies of Italy are now in Southwest Florida, waiting for you to enjoy. Authentic Italian cuisine, from tantalizing appetizers to scrumptious desserts and, of course, pasta of every kind. For lunch or dinner, Gabriello's is a dining experience from another world. Gabriello's of New York, minutes away from the Barbara B. Mann Theater, Fort Myers.
Big cities, small towns, wherever you live, wherever you go, the same kinds of problems, the same way to get some real help. The Boys Town National Hotline, someone who cares and knows what to do. Wherever you are, whatever your trouble, if you're a kid or a parent, call anytime, toll free, 1-800-448-3000. There's help at the end of the line.
Oh, what do I feel like watching tonight, actually? Treasure Quest is your video marketplace for great deals on area restaurants, goods and services, and entertainment. Things like Diamond Limousine, Suncoast Mobile, Gold's Gym, and Total Health Center. Just watch every Monday night at 7:30 on WJIC and find out how you can cash in on the bargains. Now that's how to spend quality time together, wouldn't you agree?
Welcome back again. I'm Charles Hidalgo along with Steven J. Canton. Boxing at the beach here on Fort Myers Beach, and bout number 4 about to get underway. Steve Ramos out of Hialeah, Florida, versus Travis Hudson from Georgia.
This ought to be a very good bout, too. We're looking forward to this. These are younger brothers of 2 of the top boxers in the country. Stevie Ramos' older brother, Carmelo Ramos, presently ranks 7th in the 125-pound junior Olympic division nationally. And also Jacob Hudson, who is ranked 5th presently, and Jacob is a former 6-time national champion. So these younger brothers, I'm sure, has the same skill at their age as the brothers did when they were the same age.
Should be a close bout, Steve. In the stripes, boxing out of the blue corner, it's Hudson. In the white trunks, boxing out of the red corner, it's Ramos.
Ramos from Hialeah, trained by Carlos Ulloa. He is called the Professor down that area. He's an excellent boxing coach, good boxing person, and always has his boxers in good condition. Of course, Travis Hudson, a member of the great Augusta boxing team.
A flurry of combinations and punches landed by both fighters here early in the ring. We saw a nice little combination with an uppercut with the right by Hudson, and Ramos is coming right back. They're still boxing 1-minute rounds here in this 87, 85-pound matchup.
That was a good first round.
Ended by a nice right to the face of Ramos. Hudson really got one good last lick in before that round ended. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Steve Ramos, again, an evenly matched matchup here. Steve Ramos, 12 years old, 87 pounds, 6-1 record out of Hialeah versus Travis Hudson, age 11, 85 pounds, with an 11-2 record out of Augusta, Georgia. So although they look somewhat even, I would give Hudson an edge on experience and a reach advantage with a 61-inch reach versus Ramos, whose reach measures 57 inches.
We had been looking forward, as we said. Carmelo Ramos was going to fight Jacob Hudson, the two older brothers. Carmelo was sick last week. He also come up with a back injury, and he couldn't get by the physical today, so that bout had to be scratched. Maybe we can make that in the future.
Steve, as the founder of SJC Boxing, I'm sure you're heavily involved in the training of these athletes, and they're very young athletes at this age. These guys are only just 12 and 11 in this particular round, but we saw some 8-year-olds earlier in the fight previously. What kind of training do these athletes do to make it to this level?
We've got a big routine there. We've got several coaches in the gym with me every night, Monday through Friday. Our gym is located at 2105 Jackson Street, downtown Fort Myers. By the way, it is open to the public. If anyone wants to get involved with boxing, you can come by the gym. We're there Monday through Friday between 5 and 7:30 p.m. Or you can call me at 334-2105. These kids, when they come in the training, we put them through a big routine every night. They go out there and they stretch and loosen up. They go out and they'll run about a mile. And after that, they'll come back and do a round of duck walks. They'll do jump ropes. Get in the ring and they'll do some shadow boxing, work on a heavy bag, speed bag.
I would think a minimum of at least 6 weeks would be needed of serious training day in and day out, 5 days a week minimum, to prepare for one of these fights to be in top condition. At least 6 weeks. Would you say that's accurate?
Pretty much so, yes, Charlie. There's a break in the action right now as they prepare the or repair the tape on the gloves that's come loose. We want to make sure of safety. There's also, looks like a cut that's opened up.
This has been a very close fight so far. It's very difficult to judge who's got an advantage so far. A series of when fighters get together, they exchange punches, and there's a nice left landed by the white trunk to Ramos, while Hudson in the stripes, again, counter-attacking.
Right,
nice left jabs landed to the face of Ramos.
That's the end of round 2. And there was a slight cut on Travis Hudson's eye, but it's okay. The doctor looked at it and everything's fine.
Hudson did land some solid punches in that particular flurry of exchanges. And right now, I would give him the edge in this bout, although it's tough to say, again, from our vantage point here in the rafters.
Yes, and also I'd like to say a special thank you to Dr. Dan Tuffarello. He went and gave the physicals to all boxers during the weigh-ins earlier today at noon. And that's 26 of them with 13 bouts. So we'd like to thank him. He's from Punta Gorda. Here he is tonight, a big boxing fan, a big supporter of boxing in the area. He does a super job. So we'd like to welcome him and thank him again, Dr. Dan Tuffarello.
Thank you, Dr. Tuffarello. And we'd also like to take this opportunity to thank some of our ring sponsors, including Flea Masters, Gabriello's of New York, and Father and Son Moving and Storage. Nobody beats Father and Son. Nobody. Round 3 about to get underway.
Here we go in the third and final round, and the decision's probably up for grabs. It's going to be a close, hard decision. Gregory probably has a slight edge.
Ramos opens up with a right overcut and swinging wildly now. Ramos missing, and Hudson peppering Ramos to the body. There's an undercut by Hudson that lands right in the stomach of Ramos. Again, Hudson seemingly landing the majority of the blows.
Yeah, Hudson's getting in with his jab, throwing his punches, getting back out. Ramos backing up on the ropes right here. But he's throwing punches of his own. What's missing with these boxers at this level, Charlie, is there's no body work. If you notice, they're all head hunting. As they develop their skills, they'll get more technique, and they'll have better balance and start throwing better combinations, body and head.
They learn to use the feet a little bit more, too, and move around the ring, although that previous fight we saw with
Eric Luned.
He showed some maturity there beyond his years. The fight's over. Steve Ramos, the surprise winner. I'm sure some controversy there in that bout.
Most definitely. Looked like Hudson had the edge in a close bout, but Ramos declared the winner.
Ramos moves to 7-1, while Travis falls to 11-3.
As a pilot, I know the importance of regular maintenance and inspection on my aircraft. And the same is true for the family car. That's why I trust Bob Eskew's transmission.
Bob Eskew's been rebuilding transmissions since 1948. Bob's certified mechanics are trained in the latest computer technology, and you'll save up to 50% off dealer or franchise shop prices.
For transmission and air conditioning repair, you can't afford to bring your car anywhere else.
Bob Eskew's Transmission, Evans and Hanson, and US 41, 1.5 miles south of Gladiola, Fort Myers.
Do you have a medical or physical condition that requires special care? Do you live alone with no place to go in the event of a weather emergency? Lee County Emergency Management is offering residents with special needs a helpful registration form. Simply complete and return the form, and if a hurricane threatens our area, Emergency Management will attempt to provide you with transportation to an emergency shelter. For more information, contact Lee County Emergency Management or pick up a registration form at any Lee County Sheriff's Office substation. We care about your safety.
They're here, the great nutrition facts food labels at your supermarket. The way to better health. Check the label. If the food's high in calories, cholesterol, or especially fat, don't buy it. Cut fat intake and live longer.
You're watching WJIC Jones Intercable Channel 12.
And here's a replay from a previous bout, Ramos and Hudson. It shows how close that bout really was. They're trading punches on the ropes. That's Hudson has Ramos trapped. And they're missing some punches, throwing some, but the bout was very close, hard to call. Ramos got the decision. Most people thought Hudson won the bout.
I agree, Steve. That was a tough fight to call. Although Ramos is backed into the corner here, he does manage to connect with one solid punch to the side of Hudson's head in this exchange. You'll see Hudson stepping into a left cross delivered by Ramos that backs him up into the ropes. In a close bout, perhaps it was that solid blow that influenced the judge to hand the decision to Ramos. This next round is being brought to you by Gabriello's of New York, and it features in the red corner Daniel Burney out of Jacksonville versus J.D. Hurd in the blue corner out of Port Charlotte.
Charlie, Daniel Burney, trained by Dozell Varner up in Jacksonville, been around for many, many years, always had a good team. It's his first visit to Fort Myers, and we welcome him here at the show. Meanwhile, J.D. Hurd, one of the boxers, trained by Mark Hager with the brand new Blue Diamond Boxing Club up in Port Charlotte. And this is the first bout, as you said, for both boxers. Should be interesting. Here we go with the first round. Hurd is the southpaw in the white, Burney in red.
I can't imagine how nervous these two fighters must be in their first fight.
Right.
Good fist speed being exhibited by Daniel Burney in the red.
Right, Burney is working off a jab. He's got the classic straight up and down style. Looks like he's got good footwork. The jab's out there, and he's trying to throw a right hand behind it.
Neither of these two fighters are circling the ring. They're just going to be toe-to-toe, going right at one another. Not as much contact here as in the earlier fights, but this fight's still early in the first round.
Right, Hurd seems to be trying to throw his punches and pull out at the same time, and that's why he's short. He needs to be stepping in a little more. His jab, he's dropping it on the way back. He's open for a right hand. He's open for left hooks. And it looks like Burney, who's got that 8-inch reach advantage, is looking to size him up, and then he lands a couple of hard right hands right there. He's got Hurd hurt, and there he goes down.
And he is hurt indeed. Bernie pummels Hurd up against the ropes, eventually knocking him to the ground with that solid right.
Referee Vic Dwysocki out there giving him a standing 8 count. He's going to look at Hurd closely. If he feels he can continue, he will, and there he goes. Comes back for more.
Again, Bernie with the upright position, jabbing with the left arm.
You know, Bernie is trying to keep his left foot on the outside of Hurd's right foot to get the advantage, and he does it pretty much.
And that tactic employed by Bernie is keeping Hurd at bay. He's unable to get inside and deliver any kind of damage. And that's the end of round 1, decisively going to Daniel Bernie. Here's the tale of the tape. Daniel Bernie, age 15, weighing 149 pounds, out of Jacksonville. The Police Athletic League is the boxing club he boxes for. And J.D. Hurd, age 14, 149 pounds, at a Blue Diamond Boxing Club in Port Charlotte. You had something to do with that club getting organized, I understand.
Right, we get them started. We helped Mark get the club organized up there. They do come down to the SJC club about twice a week for sparring. The kids have been working very hard, and we'd like to welcome Mark to the program. He's doing a great job up there, and he's got a good young group of fighters.
And I assume, Steve, that when the two clubs do get together and spar in your gym, it's in the downtown Fort Myers location?
2105 Jackson Street. And we're there Monday through Friday between 5 and 7:30 p.m.
How often do these fighters get together and actually compete against one another a year?
Here we go with round 2, Charlie. They box about once a month on an average. We go out of town every month. We have shows about every 6 weeks, plus we participate in tournaments throughout. So there is a lot of activity for these kids. Bernie has jumped on the attack right off the bat. He's coming forward. Hurd is kind of keeping his head down, and there he's in trouble again.
A very quick right-left-right combination by Bernie. Backs Hurd into the ropes, knocking him to the ground.
A lot of heart by Hurd, but he has to work on his skill. He's taken his eyes off his opponent. He's got his head down. He's open for the counters, and Bernie is there obliging.
That's right, Steve. Hurd's trying to keep his head down to avoid being hit. He's actually setting himself up as an easy target for Bernie, and even more punishment. That's the second knockdown of the fight scored by Daniel Bernie. He's apparently in the driver's seat, while J.D. Hurd may hurt in some trouble.
You notice that Bernie follows the knockdown with all headshots. He's got Hurd hurt again. However, if he just come right to the body, then to the head, he'd probably finish him off right here.
There's a good blow, a left jab by Hurd that knocked Bernie back, but Bernie's still in command of the fight.
Looks like Bernie's getting a little tired from all those punches he missed. And Hurd is just biding his time. He should come in. He's lunging in. There he goes back down again.
I don't know if he was hit hard or tripped on his own feet. That may have been an off-balanced
Well, I don't think he was really hurt, but he was hit, and he was off balance, and he went down, so the counting is knocked down. There's another standing 8 count.
Not seriously hurt on the blow, but the fight resumes with Bernie on the attack.
That's the end of round 2.
And after 2 rounds, Daniel Bernie in command of this fight so far, having scored 2 more knockdowns in the second round. J.D. Hurd, battling to stay alive, has got to find a way to keep from being hurt, Steve.
And what Hurd has got to do, he's got to get down low, get on the inside of Bernie. He's got to work the body. And what he's doing is he's lunging, he's off balance, he's trying to hit and pull out at the same time so he doesn't get hit. Meanwhile, Bernie is in that classic style. He's got the jab working, he's got a right hand. Only problem is there's not enough body work.
Well, Steve, both fighters have one more round to show their stuff and see what they do have inside. This next round being brought to you, by the way, by Flea Masters Flea Market, your Christmas shopping paradise. I'm Charles Hidalgo. Sitting with me is Steve Canton, the founder of SJC Boxing.
Charlie, this is a third in our series on the beach. We're very happy with our new home and the fine people out here at the Bay Oaks and the Parks and Recreation Department. And here we go for the third round. We opened our series August 20th with Cincinnati, Ohio down against Florida. They went home with only 2 wins that night with their team. We came back in October with Alabama coming down here. They went home with 1 victory. So tonight we're hosting Augusta, Georgia, one of the top teams in the whole country. We'll see how many wins we can keep them away from.
J.D. Hurd now throwing jabs with his right. Southpaw now, he's lunging, but he's not landing any blows. Bernie well in command of the fight now, scores a combination that knocks Hurd back into the ropes. Hurd seemed hurt by that last left uppercut. And now he's got him in trouble. He's just landing his right uppercut at will, trying to put Hurd away.
Yeah, Bernie is loading up on the right hand too much. He's forgotten his left hand totally. No body work whatsoever. He's already tired. You can see Bernie winded. Now he's going to back off, and you can see he's trying to catch his wind. He blew his wad right there. He should have went right to the body. The fight would be over right now.
Tremendous heart being shown by J.D. Hurd in the weight trunks.
Right. Now if only Hurd can suck it up and come to Bernie, he can catch Bernie, who is tired, and Hurd can finish strong and steal the fight.
Good point. If he can pose an attack here late in the third round, he might have a chance to win, but he's got to make something happen and make it quick.
Right. It doesn't look like neither one of them have that much left. The bout is winding down, and Hurd needs to come on strong if he's going to do anything. Otherwise, it's too late.
Well, we're into 3-minute rounds here in the upper weight category.
Well, actually, we're still in the 2-minute rounds, Charlie, because they're novice. That is the fight. And the winner is Dan Bernie, who now is 1-0 with his first victory in his first bout.
A somewhat easy decision by Daniel Bernie. Coming up next, a couple 162-pound fighters will battle it out and one of them is an SJC boxer. We'll have that fight coming your way right after these messages.
At Flea Master's Flea Market, treasures wait for everyone. You will find fantastic bargains, real good food and weekend fun. A shopping pleasure, that's Flea Master's. All kinds of treasures at Flea Master's. Flea Master's, man. At Flea Master's. Come bag a bargain at Flea Master's.
Go behind the scenes and get the inside information on area businesses and what they have to offer with Southwest Florida Business on Jones Intercable. Whether it's as important as planning your financial future or as simple as choosing a restaurant, Southwest Florida Business will help you make an informed decision. Airing 7 days every week, Southwest Florida Business on WJIC Channel 12.
Perhaps your future's up in the air. And you just don't know it. Aim high. Air Force.
I see her! This is not a drill. This is what we do every day in the Coast Guard. Be part of the action. Call now. Coming up.
And here's a replay back there on the previous fight with Bernie and J.D. Hurd. There's a right hand on Hurd's chin as he backs up and falls back into the ropes. Bernie walking in. He's throwing a right hand to the head, which misses. Misses with his left. And that's what he's doing wrong, is he's throwing all head shots as Hurd falls into the ropes. There he hits him with a left hook. And he's down from that right hand.
And down for the count as that ends the fight. And, of course, Daniel Bernie, the victor in that last 149-pound matchup. Coming up, it's a pair of 162-pounders, Travis Gregory out of Melbourne and Larry Willis, Jr. of the SJC Boxing Club, the second representative from SJC to fight this evening.
Right, and he's trained by his dad, Larry Willis, who's in the corner with him tonight, along with Ted Gordon, great trainers at the SJC Boxing Club. And Travis Gregory, trained by Paul Herring from the Melbourne Boxing Club. This is a long-anticipated rematch from a year ago, Charlie. Last year, the great SJC team took 8 young junior Olympic boxers to the state championships in Tampa. We came away with 7 gold medals and 1 silver. The silver was Larry Willis Jr. versus Travis Gregory. Gregory won that decision, which was very controversial. Willis wanted this rematch since last year. They both left boxing to play football. And then now they come back, and here is the rematch. When they fought a year ago, they fought at 139 pounds for the state medal. Now they're in here at 162 pounds. Big difference. But this ought to be a good bout.
Round 1 underway, being brought to you, by the way, by Father and Son Moving and Storage. Travis Gregory, 15 years old, in white shorts and trunks. Larry Willis wearing the dark shirt. Fine display of boxing here early.
Willis spun off the ropes real good. He's working the body and the head. That's one thing we are very strict with in our boxing club, is to train the boxers to punch in combination, to punch body and head. with good spin around moves and good footwork and balance. Willis is looking very sharp right now.
Willis landing a couple of combinations before backing off.
Right, he's getting in, getting out, tying up his man, walks him to the ropes.
Now there's a 3-inch height disadvantage for Willis, but that sometimes means more power compacted into a smaller body.
And a referee for this bout is D. Capua, as the referees alternate and take turns here. D does a fine job for us, and we're very proud of him coming down here. Very pleased.
There's some scrappy boxing up against the ropes, moving into the center of the ring before the referee breaks them apart.
There's a warning for Willis using his shoulder.
And his head as well. He's ducking in there, getting his nose right in the thick of things. There's the bell to end round 1. Round 2 coming your way next, being brought to you by Flea Masters Flea Market in Fort Myers. Here's the tail of the tape. Both 162-pound fighters. An age advantage to Larry Willis, 15, versus Travis Gregory, 14. Travis Gregory, however, the more experienced of the two boxers, with a 12-2 record.
Right, Gregory's 2 losses. One, he lost a fight for the gold medal of the National Junior Olympic Tournament in a close decision. His other loss was a first-round knockout by SJC boxer Isaac Washington about a year ago, and he hasn't fought Washington since. But he's built up 12 other victories along the way, so he's been very, very good. And Larry Willis, as we said earlier, looking for this rematch. He looked very sharp in that first round. As I started to say, Charlie, earlier, that during the past 2 years, we've been very pleased with our young boxers. We've compiled the top record in the state of Florida. Last year alone, we had 35 young boxers compete for Florida State boxing titles. And here is the round 2 beginning.
Although Larry Willis is the shorter of the two opponents at 5'6", he does have a 1-inch reach advantage. He's got those long arms that he can just get in and do some damage against Travis Gregory in the dark shirt.
Right. Last year, as I started saying, the SJC boxing team had 35 young boxers compete for state titles. 27 won gold medals, 6 won silver, 2 won bronze. We also had 6 regional champions and 1 national champion came out of our club. So we've been very proud of the team. They work hard, and it shows.
And although the SJC Boxing Club has only been around 3 years in existence, they've had a lot of success. And what do you attribute that to, Steve?
Well, it's the hard work and dedication of the volunteers that make the program successful, and all of the boxers that train hard, and the competition that we not only go to, but host here in town, and the tournaments that we participate in. So it's a big effort by a lot of people.
There's Willis putting up a good fight against Gregory, backing him into the ropes again.
You'll notice, too, most every combination that he throws either ends or starts with a body punch. It's not all head hunting for Larry Willis Jr. He's doing a good job in here. He's getting down low when he needs to. He ties him up when he needs to, and his hands are busy when he has to.
Willis does seem more confident, the more confident of the two boxers at this point in the fight here in the second round. He missing with a couple of jabs, now lunging and missing again.
It's 2 good rounds for Larry Willis Jr. with 1 round to go.
And round 3 will be brought to you by Gabriello's of New York for fine Italian dining. This, the 6th of 13 bouts we're bringing you tonight on SJC Boxing Night at the Beach. And
don't forget, too, that to mark your calendar, Charlie, our next show we've got coming up, everybody's excited about that. That is February 25th, 1995, right here at the Bay Oak Center, Fort Myers Beach. We've got a full team from Arkansas versus an all-star team from Florida. We're already excited about that coming up. They are planning to send down to us 5 junior Olympic boxers, that's the age from 8 to 16, 5 novice boxers, that's 16 up to 32, inexperienced, and 5 open boxers who are 16 up to 32 who are experienced. So that is going to be some night. Tickets will be $7. Information, you can call 334-2105.
And round 3 about to get underway. Just 2 minutes of fighting remaining for these two fighters. 2 minutes where the fight could be decided in who lands more blows or delivers a knockout in this particular round. Naturally, it's tough to say who's got an edge in this card right now, but it looks like Larry Willis has been the aggressor.
Yeah, Gregory landed some good combination of his own to the body at the start of this round. Willis did also, but Gregory has since backed off, and Willis has taken the play to him.
Again, Gregory backing off. Willis looking for some room to get inside.
Hey, Gregory looks like he's a little flat. He's been out of boxing for a while, playing football. He's picked up a lot of height and weight since last year. He's a good young boxer. Willis has been wanting this rematch since the bout last year, and he looks like the more hungry of the two right now.
Willis is missing, though. He's not landing too many of the jabs he's taken at Gregory. That last one resulted in his arm being placed around the neck of his opponent, and the referee had to break him apart. But once again, Willis comes right back inside and tries to do some damage on Gregory. Little rabbit punch there thrown by Gregory, and the ref breaks him apart off the ropes. Into the center of the ring they move. Willis again, the aggressor. Missing, though, swinging wildly, but he is trying to score some punches. And there he does land a couple. Gregory can do nothing but try and get himself off the ropes. He's not moving his feet, though. Gregory's content just to block his head. And that's the end of the fight. An easy victory for Larry Willis of the SJC Boxing Club, who moves his record up to 5-4.
Sweet revenge.
We've got more boxing on your way coming up right after these messages.
The word is out. Footsie's Footwear has deep discounts on name brand athletic shoes for the entire family. With over 10,000 pairs in stock, Footsie's will help you find the shoes you need for an active lifestyle. Choose from Nike, Reebok, Avia, Adidas, and many more in sizes to fit everyone. And don't forget the Bigfoot department with men's sizes 13 to 17. And ladies, Footsie's has many varieties of Sandax sandals. You won't find a better selection than at Footsie's Footwear in the Flea Masters Flea Market, Fort Myers.
Fort Myers Police Department would like to thank you, the community, for all of your helpful tips and information that lead us to the capture and conviction of many known criminals.
Hi, I'm Bill Beverly.
And I'm Jane Trejo Beverly. Would you like to improve your tennis game by having a more powerful serve, better strokes, better techniques, and a better mental attitude? Then join us here on Racket Talk.
You bet, Jane. Joining us each week are the top people in the field of fitness, mental training, and good physical conditioning in the game of tennis. Right here on Jones Intercable, 7:30 to 8 o'clock every Thursday night. It's the best half hour you'll spend off the court.
Well, Larry Willis's decision over Travis Gregory, well, that makes the SJC Boxing Club 2 for 2 so far here at the Bay Oaks Recreation Center. Coming up next, another SJC boxer. In the blue corner, Craig Pratt versus, in the red corner, Victor Flores of Dunedin. Cross ring is Pratt wearing the white shirt. In the red shirt, it's Flores. Flores weighing in at 125. Craig Pratt, naturally a 118, but with shoes on and clothes, Steve, he's bumped up to 122 rather quickly, I'd say.
Well, we didn't have anyone in his actual weight class for him to fight, so we moved up to fight Flores. We knew this was going to be a tough bout. Flores only has a 3-3 record, but he's fought some good boxers in that weight class. Pratt only one bout, which he won in the first round knockout down in Pembroke Pines a couple months ago. Pratt wants to be a professional fighter. He's been working very hard. But he had some problems getting to the gym last week because of car trouble. He lives in Naples and commutes, and he didn't make it in too often last week, where previously he had been coming regular. So I don't know if he's got the conditioning edge that he had about 2 weeks ago before the bout.
Well, Pratt has shown some quick speed with his fist and shown a lot of jabs thrown, but he hasn't landed too many. Here early in the first round, Flores landing the majority of the blows. Right. He continues to get inside on Pratt.
And Flores is a strong boxer, and he's a natural 125-pounder. Pratt needs to be working the body a little more. He's snapping a jab, but it looks like to me he wants to load up on that right hand instead of just let his combinations flow. And he's backing off too much when Flores comes, instead of stepping around the side like he works in the gym.
Both boxers circling the ring, showing good footwork. Pratt, however, again, a little bit more flat-footed than Flores, and perhaps it's that lack of conditioning from his week without a car could be a factor. But there's another wild uppercut with the left by Pratt that misses again. He's trying to get inside on Flores, and Flores just keeps punching away, landing the majority of the points. Now he's backing Flores. Flores is backing Pratt up into the ropes, and they move to the center of the ring.
What Craig is doing too much, he's throwing one jab at a time instead of doubling up that jab. And he's looking to load up the right hand.
He just did. Did you see that right?
Yes, I did.
He put everything he had into it, and he missed again.
But what he needs to do is he needs to hook off his jab. He's got to come in with some combinations.
End of round one, and an advantage there, certainly for Victor Flores, landing the majority of the punches after one round. And looking at the age difference between these two fighters, just a couple of years divides them. Weight's again an advantage to Flores. With a 3-3 record, boxing out of Dunedin Boxing Club. Pratt, a 21-year-old, 118-pounder with shoes on. He's up to 122 and looking to advance his 1-0 record out of the SJC Boxing Club in Fort Myers.
Right, and Flores is trained by Ziggy out there at Dunedin. They've been around for a little bit, and Ziggy's come down to a couple of our shows, so he usually has a few boxers to participate with us, so we'd like to thank him once again for being part of the promotion here on the beach.
And we'd also like to thank some of our sponsors sponsoring some of these fabulous rounds of boxing this evening. Gabriello's of New York, Father and Son Moving and Storage, and Flea Masters Flea Market all contributed time and effort to make these fights possible for you viewers at home. Round two underway, and again, Pratt in the white shirt, out of the blue corner. Flores in the red shirt, out of the red corner.
Some nice combinations traded right there by both boxers.
And there is Pratt once again relying heavy on that right lunging, almost seemingly a knockout blow. And there's a little low punch below the belt. Perhaps the referee didn't see that. But that was delivered by Pratt. But now the combination up against the rope, perhaps for the first time in this fight, going in Pratt's favor. Boxers circling nicely around the ring, making it very difficult to hit one another when they're moving.
There's a mouthpiece out, and the amateur rule states that the mouthpiece will be picked up, rinsed off, and reinserted before it continues. Also, the boxer losing the mouthpiece will be cautioned because they have to keep it in their mouth. Now, there's a chance that if it gets knocked out again, the referee will actually take a point away. That's some of the rules, that they are strict on safety, and they want to make sure they have the mouthpiece in at all times, the headgear secured, and so on.
But that's a good point, that safety is taken into consideration. So those of you out there who are maybe thinking of joining the SJC Boxing Club or picking up boxing as a sport and an athletic sport that it is somewhere else, that they have headgear, they have training, and they wear protective gear such as cups and mouthpieces. So the injuries are minimized, if not totally eliminated.
Right. Also, the boxers under the 165-pound weight class all box with 10-ounce gloves, and over 165 pounds, they use 12-ounce gloves. That's about 2 ounces up from the professional boxers. So there is a lot of difference between amateur and professional boxing as far as safety is concerned.
Would you say a heavier glove can do more damage, or is it more difficult
well,
to move?
they're giving more padding to the heavier weight classes in the amateur boxing than they are the professionals.
So it lands a softer blow, the heavier glove does.
Right.
Is there some bleeding there?
There is a cut on Flores. And once again, Dr. Dan Tuffarello has taken a close look at the boxer from Dunedin to see if he can continue, and he does allow the bout to continue.
Now Pratt trying to be the aggressor here. He perhaps knows he's behind on the card, and he's, again, throwing a lot of punches but not landing too many. Flores much more effective in his combinations. Again, with a left jab there, right to the face of Pratt. Flores now with some body blows while he has him in a grip. Another nice left jab. And there's that right, that lunging right, again exhibited by Pratt. That's the end of round number 2.
Pratt needs to settle down a little bit, double and triple up on his jab, step in with his punches, and work angles on Flores, who's right in front of him. And he's getting I'm sure he's getting those instructions from Coach Larry Willis right there, who does a super job. Meanwhile, Ziggy over there at Dunedin is telling Flores to continue what he's doing. It's working. They're down to the final 2 minutes in this bout.
What would you say Craig Pratt would have to do to win this bout? He's obviously behind, not having landed a lot of those punches he's thrown.
Well, what he has to do, Charlie, he's got to close the distance a little bit. He's throwing punches without stepping into them, and therefore he's short. What he's got to do is time Flores coming in, take a step to the side, throw a 2 or 3 punch combination, mix it up with body and head, double up on the jab, and be sharper. Now, I've seen Craig in the past. He has looked very well in training, but I think he's a little bit off from missing some of the days last week in the gym, and also moving up to a heavier weight class where the strength of Flores is starting to tell a little bit.
Well, that is the question. Can Craig Pratt of the SJC Boxing Club pull it out? He's behind, and he's got just 2 minutes to prove himself against his opponent, Victor Flores, in the red jersey.
They're cleaning up the water on the side of the ring from Dunedin. They want to make sure that there's no chance for the boxers slipping over there and any chance of getting injured in that manner.
Again, safety of utmost consideration for these amateur boxers.
And referee Vic D. Wysocki ready to begin round 3.
Round 3 being brought to you by Father and Son Moving and Storage. Both boxers in the center of the ring exchanging blows. No serious damage done yet. But again, it's Craig Pratt now, perhaps landing 2 of the 3 jabs he just threw with his left. Again, a bunch of body blows.
What Craig is doing, he's coming in and going straight back, and Flores is coming back after him and catching him. Pratt needs to give a little more angles, go to the side a little more, throw some hooks. There's the mouthpiece again.
Yeah, the referee stops the fight once again to get the mouthpiece back in the mouth of Craig Pratt. He's signaling now to the officials.
And there is a point being taken away from Craig Pratt for losing the mouthpiece.
One too many times?
It appears so.
Is that at the judge's discretion?
It's actually at the discretion of the referee in there, and I think that's a little premature. That was only the second loss of the mouthpiece, but he decided to take that point away, and Craig Pratt certainly doesn't need another point being taken away as he's already behind. He needs to do something dramatic in his final minute here.
Well, he is dancing around the ring, moving his feet, trying to get inside.
Lands a good right hand there, but nothing behind it. No hook behind it. No body punching.
It was countered by Flores' jab to the head, which landed on Pratt. Flores misses. They get into a bear hug. Now up against the ropes, and the referees.
Looks like Pratt's gas tank is just a little bit empty right now, too.
Both fighters looking quite tired here late in the 3rd round. There's some blows to the head of Pratt that perhaps stunned him a bit, but no serious damage done, and the 2 boxers resume in the center of the ring. They tie one another up. And Pratt breaks loose. Pratt dancing. Left jab. And in comes Flores with a flurry. In the corner. And a push off. Oh, there went a hard lunging right by Pratt that missed. And that's the fight.
And Flores does win that decision. So Pratt now at a 1-1 record. Flores 4-3.
Stay tuned. We've got more boxing coming your way from the Bay Oaks Recreation Center. SJC Boxing Night at the Beach. More to come in just a moment.
Enjoy a symphony of savings. Flea Masters, Fort Myers.
I'm Ahmad Rashad. Taking risks on the playing field is what makes some athletes great, but taking risk at home is just plain dumb. Did you know that fire kills more Americans than all other natural disasters combined? What's more frightening is that small children who play with matches and lighters are often the cause as well as the victims of fires in the home. Install smoke detectors and check the batteries often. Protect children from matches, lighters, or electrical outlets. Plan a fire escape route and practice it, and know how to call for help. For a free fire safety tip sheet, write United States Fire Administration, Post Office Box 70274, Washington, D.C. 20024. That's United States Fire Administration, Post Office Box 70274, Washington, D.C. 20024. Do these things and do them now. Don't take the risk that a home fire won't happen to you.
Here's the replay of that last fight between Craig Pratt and Victor Flores.
Here's Flores in with a nice left jab. Follows with a right hand. And comes back with a hook. He's throwing a 1-2-3 punch combination. And here comes another right hand behind it. And there's a right hand over the top that misses by Pratt. Ducks down nice right there. He should be ripping a left hook right now as he's down. He would have caught Flores with that left hook. He was open for it.
Perhaps Pratt stung by that right hook to the face. Well, that loss by Pratt drops the SJC Boxing Club's record in this particular night of fights to 2-1. Coming up next, out of the red corner, Lee Longworth of Dunedin versus Jamie Walsh in the blue corner. Lee Longworth, 19 years old, 136 pounds. Wearing the red shirt and striped pants. Jamie Walsh, a 17-year-older, weighing 139 pounds. And his record's 0-1 versus Longworth, who's making his ring debut.
Referee, once again, is D. DiCapua right here. Does a fine job for us always.
Wearing all black is Jamie Walsh. He's on the right side, and on the left is Lee Longworth. The two fighters are ready. The bout about to get underway. This round being brought to you by Flea Masters Flea Market in Fort Myers.
Walsh comes out with a jab. He is the southpaw in black.
Not a referee there.
D. DiCapua just gave a caution to Longworth for ducking his head too low. Both these young boxers looking for their first win tonight.
Walsh going for the headshot. Longworth ducking. Walsh missing. There's a nice right cross there by Walsh, but again he misses. And there's a jab that connects to the head of Longworth. A body blow by Longworth to the gut, doing no damage to Walsh.
Walsh looks to be the better boxer of the two. Longworth is a little bit off balance and lunging a little bit too much. Perhaps the southpaw style is giving him trouble. The trainer with Walsh is Paul Herring out there in Melbourne, does a fine job with his boxing team. And of course, Ziggy with Dunedin Boxing Club does a good job for them.
Longworth landing several body blows to Walsh. The referee breaks him apart.
One thing I like about Walsh is he throws punches in 2s and 3s. He doesn't throw one at a time. Maintains his balance. Looks to be a good, young, fine boxer.
Nice right uppercut there by Longworth, catching Walsh on the chin. Walsh comes right back with a right jab and a double combination as well. There, the right cross landing on Longworth. Walsh fakes, feigns, and continues to use his right jab effectively to keep Longworth at bay.
That's the bell for the first round.
Good action here. And here's the tale of the tape. Lee Longworth making his ring debut at the age of 19, weighing in at 136 pounds and boxing out of the Dunedin Boxing Club. And Jamie Walsh at age 17, weighs 139 pounds and looking for his first amateur victory out of the Melbourne Boxing Club.
Charlie, we want to say a special thank you today to the Rib City Barbecue out in Cape Coral, and Joey and Jerry Pastore out there. They treated all of the boxers, all the officials, the coaches, everybody connected with this promotion to a great, great lunch right after the weigh-ins this afternoon. Rib City Barbecue. They've got several locations throughout, and if you want a good place to eat, Rib City Barbecue is the place to go.
With an emphasis on the barbecue, because these boxers sometimes have bruised ribs, and
they enjoyed some barbecued ribs this afternoon.
Rib City won't help them in that case. Round 2 underway, and again, Longworth in the red shirt, Jamie Walsh in all black.
Walsh working the body very well with his right hooks, working off his jab. There's a jab right there, and he's keeping his balance real well, moving around. I like Walsh the way he looks for a young boxer.
Walsh in black, swinging wildly, but is probably ahead in this fight as he has consistently landed more solid punches. Longworth struggling to do some damage on Walsh. There's a flurry of activity and a rabbit punch to the gut delivered by Jamie Walsh. And perhaps the referee warning Walsh on the rabbit punches. Up against the ropes, momentarily in some danger, was Longworth. Longworth lunges and misses with a right uppercut. Walsh now just jabbing away with his right.
You know, they're getting the feet tangled up quite a bit, Charlie, and it is awkward for a right-handed boxer like Longworth to fight a southpaw like Walsh. What he needs to do is put his left foot on the outside of the right foot of Walsh, and that way he's got his left hooks and his right hands open. What's happened, though, is it's not working out that way for him, and the advantage is to Walsh as he's stepping properly.
Yes. Walsh now backing Longworth into the ropes, and the referee breaks it up. Longworth getting a warning. And the two fighters resume center ring. That ends round 2.
2 minutes to follow, one more round. We still got 5 great bouts on tap tonight.
Who do you see ahead in this fight so far? It looks like Walsh to me.
Well, Walsh has dominated the first 2 rounds with his smooth boxing. He's done a better job in this fight, so it looks to me like he's on his way to his first victory. And we're excited about the bouts coming up yet, especially the final bout of the night. We've got Terry Marber and Darryl Morgan out of Georgia. And that's going to be a tremendous fight. We're looking forward to that for quite some time. Marber from Dade City in Florida was the bronze medalist at the National PAL tournament in Kansas City recently. And Morgan from Georgia is the 7th-rated boxer in the country. They are heavyweights, and that's the last bout tonight. We still, as we said, have 5 more to go.
Plenty of action here at the Bay Oaks Recreation Center in Fort Myers Beach. You're watching SJC Boxing, and we'd like to thank our ring sponsors, in particular, the Flea Masters Flea Market in Fort Myers. Round 3 now underway. Once again, Longworth in red, Walsh in black. Walsh getting Longworth in some trouble, and Longworth boxing his way out of it. This round 3 is where the fighters start to get tired, and it's where they really get to show what kind of stamina and what kind of heart they have in the 3rd round. It's really the round in the 3 rounds of fighting.
There's a good straight left by Walsh, and it's a nice combination. At this point, a little bit too many head punches. Longworth is off balance and fighting rough, and there's a standing 8 count being administered by D. Capua. We'd also like to thank the Buccaneer Resort Inn out here in Fort Myers Beach. They had their hotel set up as headquarters for us, and also the Days Inn South on US 41, the fine people over there. We had teams, as we said, came from all over Florida and Georgia, and they stayed at Days Inn South and at the Buccaneer. Treated very nice. It's a nice place to stay. Most of the concessions were donated to the SJC Club, which we've got here tonight, and I see the people are enjoying themselves out there. We've got Emilio's Ice House. Papa John's Pizza right here on the beach has donated pizza for us. Gulf Coast Catering with the fried chicken. We've got the Winn-Dixie store right around the corner from us, donated the soft drinks. We've got great concessions. The crowd's enjoying themselves tonight.
Walsh backing Longworth into some trouble up against the ropes. Trying to put him away here late in the third round. The referee orders them spread apart.
There's a point being taken away from Longworth right now for excessive holding.
Longworth perhaps just trying to stay out of trouble, as he's quite tired at this point and behind. Walsh, who smells blood, moves in for the attack. Now he does get an elbow of sorts. It was kind of a forearm more than a punch that pushed him back.
It's over.
Too little, too late. Jamie Walsh comes out on top. His first victory.
And he evens his record at 1-1. Jamie Walsh from Melbourne.
Stay tuned. SJC Boxing continues.
Are you ready for a fun time getaway weekend? It's time to play great time in the sun. Are you ready for some great food, real deals, find a steal, bargains for everyone? If you're ready for some smiling faces, yeah, if you're ready, here's what you do. Come to Flea Masters, flea markets, Flea Masters. Fort Myers Flea Masters, yeah, is ready for you.
Z Music, the new alternative in music television. The network for the fastest growing music in the country. Christian music. Z Music with the latest Christian music videos, news, interviews, and lots of fun. So join in, tune in, be a part of the action, and tell your friends. Z Music, it's the last word in music television.
Share in the prosperity of many of our area's most successful real estate businesses. Show and tell your prospective buyers and sellers about the properties you have available. And, of course, about yourself and what you have to offer them. And do all of this while they're relaxed, comfortable, and open to your message. Advertise on the Real Estate Showcase to get your message home.
Beethoven, Helen Keller, and Franklin Roosevelt. These people made great achievements in their lifetimes, and they all dealt with disabilities to meet their dreams. Americans with disabilities are valuable resources. Through employment, people fulfill their goals. Employment is a great investment in America's future, especially if all people have the opportunity to work. Be a miracle worker. Give Americans with disabilities the chance to achieve great things.
Welcome back. Charles Hidalgo with Stephen Canton here at the Bay Oaks Recreation Center. Bout number 9 about to get underway between Nick Tampio of Sarasota versus Jeff Ferrara of Port Charlotte. Nick boxing out of the red corner. He'll be wearing a black shirt. In the blue corner, Jeff Ferrara boxing out of Port Charlotte wearing the white shirt.
And Charlie, this is the first bout for Nick Tampio, trained by Harold Weiland, who's a very, very successful professional trainer, works with a lot of the kids up there at the Youth Center of Sarasota. Matter of fact, he's got Johnny Williams, one of the top fighters in the state. Matter of fact, Johnny Williams is the Florida State middleweight champion, and hopefully will be ranked in the top 10 early next year. He's also got Darrell Woods as a professional, and he's a good trainer, Harold Weiland, with Nick Tampio. On the other hand, Jeff Ferrara has been working extremely hard. He boxed on our first card on the beach here in August, dropping a decision in that bout, and that was his first bout. He weighed about 170 pounds. He's been working so hard that he's down to 158 pounds for this bout, boxing in the light middleweight division. He comes out strong right there, and he hurt Tampio with a right hand combination.
Round 1 underway. Fast and furious is the action. Both boxers weighing 158 pounds.
And there is a standing 8 count by referee Vic D. Wysocki, taking a good look at Nick Tampio.
Tampio perhaps stunned by that fast flurry exhibited by Ferrara. And again, the action resumes, and it's, perhaps a nice right there to the chin of Tampio.
Ferrara very strong and aggressive, coming in, working body and head, doing a lot of head movement. Tampio hanging in there, fighting back too.
This is a brawl.
Charlie,
I
want
want each other in the head and lock, and now the uppercuts.
Right. I want to make mention too that I came back recently from Kansas City, where I took worked with three boxers for the National PAL tournament. Edward Slater from Melbourne, who I helped work with, he won a bronze medal in the national tournament. Terry Marber, who you see coming up later this evening from Dade City, ended up with a bronze medal in the heavyweight class. And Curtis Figures from the SJC Boxing Club at 139 pounds, he dropped a close decision to one of the top boxers in the country.
Congratulations to those young and on the way up boxers.
Right, we enjoyed that, and thanks to the help of several sponsors, that trip was made possible. Gulf Disposal, where Curtis Figures works, they're boxing fans out there. Mink Masonry, Bob Vota out there, Dexter Bender and Associates, Gora McGahee Associates and Architects, Charlie Pichette, and the Rental Man, Charlie the Rental Man, and of course Fischel and Dowdy Jewelers. They are who made that trip to Kansas City possible. We thank them for that.
Tampio, perhaps sensing he's in some trouble, is getting in close on Ferrara, grabbing him in the headlock and delivering some body blows in the form of rabbit punches. The referee breaks him apart, and Tampio now trying to take control of this fight. He's just laying points in there with that left jab, using that long arm reach he has. 68-inch reach. Actually, both fighters built very similarly. They weigh 158 pounds, and both have 68-inch arm reaches. Here's the total tale of the tape. Nick Tampio, age 20, 158 pounds, and an 0-0 record, making his debut, boxing out of the Youth Center of Sarasota, against Jeff Ferrara, age 19, 158 pounds, and an 0-1 record, searching for his first victory, boxing out of the Blue Diamond in Port Charlotte. Round two about to get underway. These rounds are 2 minutes in length at this point. Both boxers in their corners receiving some advice and treatment from their trainers.
We've got Harold Weiland in the corner of Tampio, and we've got Mark Hager doing a fine job in the corner of Jeff Ferrara.
In the red corner again, it's Tampio. In the blue, Ferrara.
And here we go with round two.
And the action picking up much as it did in the first round. It's fast and furious. A flurry of exchanges by both boxers. You got to wonder how these boxing judges can keep score when so many punches are thrown and so many landed so quickly.
Well, as a matter of fact, we had a very fine clinic earlier today put on by Nick Cimento, president of the Florida Association, and we were very, very pleased with the turnout. We had 9 additional certified judges from this clinic today, so we'd like to welcome them to our family of officials and volunteers that makes the program possible.
And a testament to the quality of officials here monitoring these bouts, keeping things fair, clean, and up to the highest standards possible. Now both fighters are brought back together again after a brief separation. A lot of head blows in this bout as well. Both boxers posturing for the knockout. And there's another grab and a body blow delivered by Ferrara in the light trunks. In the dark trunks, it's Tampio. Tampio moving away. Ferrara centering in. Again, some wild punches being thrown. None landed, though. And the referee now warning. Looks like Ferrara on the push. Both top fighters looking a bit tired here. Perhaps if they slow down the pace. But you know what it's like when you're early in your career and you're in the ring, you're excited, you want to show what you got, and you want to show it quickly. As you progress in your career, you begin to work on things like pacing yourself and using the techniques of boxing as a self-defense and as to score that way. You know, by defending yourself, you put yourself in a position also to set yourself up for an attack. And Ferrara there with a left jab.
And there's the bell for round two.
Now, at the end of two, it's difficult for me to tell who's got the lead in this particular card.
Yeah, Ferrara's got an edge. He's been landing more punches. He's throwing the body shots, and he's been a little more busy and a little more accurate. So Ferrara, so far, looks to me like he's on his way to his first win.
Good pickup, Steve.
And you know, Charlie, several sponsors are making the show possible. And we want to make sure that people get out there and utilize the services they offer and let them know they heard about boxing from our SJC promotions right here on the beach.
Such as Gabriello's of New York, who is sponsoring this next round, this third round of this fight. Right. Gabriello's of New York, if you love delicious Italian food, fine dining and a pleasant, warm ambiance, the atmosphere and the food can't be beat at Gabriello's of New York in Fort Myers.
Right, and definitely tell them you heard about them through Boxing on the Beach, so they're back with us again to make it possible. If you need printing needs, Magic Printing is the place to go on West 1st Street, Fort Myers. And here is the third and final round, and they both want to win, so they're going to pour it on right here.
This is a brawl. Both fighters lunging at each other and putting everything they've got into their blows. Again, it's not the most artistic of bouts, but it is a downright street fight.
A lot of heart by these fighters. They're not skilled yet, but they got a lot of courage and are out here to win.
Tampio delivering the rabbit punches in that bear hug against Ferraro. Tampio in the dark trunks, in the dark shirt. They're both wearing white. And in the light blue, we'll call it Ferraro, who's probably got the edge in the fight. He delivers an uppercut and misses, or perhaps he might have swiped him. No serious damage done. These guys are in on each other, and it's difficult to land a solid blow when you're that close to someone. You can only score, but you can't really deliver anything damaging.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Mike Mills from the House of Ladders. All the work that Mike does as a volunteer for the club. He's on our board of directors. By the way, we are looking for more members for our board advisory board out there. Call me at 334-2105 if you're anxious and willing to get involved in the boxing program in the area. We'd like to have you. Come on out.
There's Tampio again with the rabbit punches to the waist. You can't score that way, though, can you? Not when you're in a rabbit hole? Just do those little taps to the ribs?
Well, your scoring punches in boxing is above the waist, up through the head, in the front part of you, and you have to land by the white part of the glove in front.
When you got a guy in a bear hug.
You're hitting to the side. It's not a scoring blow, but you've got to hit with the white part of the glove in the front, from the waist on up.
As a matter of fact, Tampio may have been already warned by the referee for those rabbit blows. Rabbit punches he's exhibited. But to no avail, he continues to apply them. And Tampio pays the price as the fight ends with a nice combination to the face and a decisive win for Jeff Ferraro, who ups his record to 1-1 out of the Blue Diamond Boxing Club in Port Charlotte. Stay tuned. We've got more boxing coming your way when SJC Boxing Night continues right after these messages.
The word is out. Footsie's Footwear has deep discounts on name brand athletic shoes for the entire family. With over 10,000 pairs in stock, Footsie's will help you find the shoes you need for an active lifestyle. Choose from Nike, Reebok, Avia, Adidas, and many more in sizes to fit everyone. And don't forget the Bigfoot department with men's sizes 13 to 17. And ladies, Footsie's has many varieties of Sandax sandals. You won't find a better selection than at Footsie's Footwear in the Flea Masters Flea Market, Fort Myers.
For accurate and up-to-the-minute weather information, Southwest Florida turns to Storm Watcher on Jones Intercable Channel 13. Storm Watcher gives you National Weather Service forecasts, along with current conditions and radar information. 1, 5, and 12-hour summaries help you track severe weather when it strikes. Storm Watcher also gives you highs and lows and the time and date. All the weather information you need at a glance on Storm Watcher, Jones Intercable Channel 13.
A message from WJIC and the Weather Channel.
Let's not end up like the dinosaurs. Help preserve the rainforests. Clearing them destroys important plants and animals and may be altering the world's climate patterns. Buy items that support rainforest conservation and products containing renewable rainforest resources. Also, look for buttons made from the ivory-like nut of the togwell palm. Shop companies that use togwell buttons. This message courtesy the Weather Channel.
You're watching WJIC Jones Intercable Channel 12.
Welcome back. Here's the replay of some action from that last fight between Ferraro and Tampio.
That's Tampio on the ropes, ducks under a right hand and eats a left hook. Only thing is there's too many head punches. There's no body work from either boxer. And you can see in this replay how wide open they are to the body. Right there, a left hook by Ferraro would be perfect, but no, it's to the head. They'll learn. They're young, and they're doing a good job.
Perhaps one solid punch landed to the face of Ferraro there in that fight, and other than that, that was a scoreless exchange, I would say, up against the ropes in that last fight. Ferraro winning the fight by the decision. Coming up next, the 10th of our bouts this evening, it's Stacey Harris out of Jacksonville, Florida, versus Lazaro Ria of Hialeah. We're going to have a look at the tail of the tape, and it'll show that Stacey Harris, wearing the red trunks, boxing out of the red corner, is 17 years old, 163 pounds, and sports a 2-1 record coming into this bout. In the blue corner, it's Lazaro Rio, an 18-year-older out of Hialeah, weighing 163 pounds and making his amateur debut. First round action about to get underway. That's Rio in the gold trunks, Harris in the red.
Harris is a southpaw, and he's coming out aggressive, working off his jab. There's a mouthpiece out. Referee DiCapo has stopped the action. He's sending Harris over to the neutral corner, and he's going to have Rio's mouthpiece picked up, washed off, cleaned up, and put back in. Good work by DiCapo.
Lazaro Rio, perhaps a bit antsy here early in the first round in that first exchange. This is his fighting debut, so he'll have to buckle down and really concentrate on a worthy opponent in Stacey Harris. Rio now showing some fancy footwork, but Harris moves right in with a left jab and a combination now to the head.
These are both aggressive boxers, just swinging back and forth. Not a lot of skill, but there is a lot of heart in there.
Harris pressuring Rio up against the ropes in an exchange that landed combinations by both boxers.
Crowd seems to like this bout, don't they, Charlie?
These guys are tall, lanky, and have long reaches. Right now, they're wrestling with each other, and the referee's like, spread it apart, boys, and resume. In the center of the ring, it's Rio in the gold, Harris in the red. Close up. These guys are just brawling right at one another.
They came to fight, I'll tell you that.
Punches landed by both boxers here early in the first round. Harris knocks Rio down. Perhaps it was a trip or a slip. The referee's going to look at his eyes. He's okay.
Yeah, that was rule of slip. That was rule of slip.
And Rio comes right back with the right.
Rio looks to me like he's winded already.
Harris moves in, backs Rio up against the ropes. Harris again leading with his right. Rio missing. Now Harris lunges, backs Rio up into the ropes once more. The referee warning Rio on the rabbit punches. When he's tied up, can't be delivering those body blows.
There's some nice jabs right there by Harris. A whole series of jabs catching Rio on the way in.
Yes, and a nice right by Rio that also landed on the face of Harris. First round action, both boxers posturing. Harris moves in with a head drive. Up against the ropes goes Rio.
End of the first good round of action.
That was a good round. I give the edge there to Harris. Rio swung wildly and missed on several of his punches. This round being brought to you by Father and Son Moving and Storage. Nobody beats Father and Son. Nobody.
And a thank you to Sand Dollar Real Estate and Larry Steinborn, who is also a certified judge doing a fine job on most of our shows. And he's a member of the board of directors of SJC Boxing, Larry Steinborn.
You're watching SJC Boxing Night. Boxing at the Beach from the Bay Oaks Recreation Center on Fort Myers Beach. This, the 10th bout of the 13 we've been bringing you this evening. And it's between Stacey Harris in the red corner and Lazaro Rio in the blue. Rio wearing the gold trunks, Harris in red. Round 2 underway now. Rio starts off with a right and misses.
And Charlie, Rio looked to me like he was worn after that first round. I don't know what he's got left in here.
Well, he's trying to get inside on Harris and tie himself up to prevent himself from getting hurt, a sign that a fighter is getting tired.
Right, he's hanging on here, and Harris is trying to work. So I don't know that Rio's got much left. That first round kind of took it out of him to me.
Harris
There's a
fakes
straight
with
left.
That was a nice fake right by Harris, and he came in with a left that really did some damage.
Referee
and
is
shook him up.
looking very closely here, and he does call Harris off. A standing 8 count administered by D.D. Capua.
Good combination by Harris. Did you see him fake that right and deliver the left?
He looked real good doing that. Now, there's another straight left over there. DiCapo is looking at this fight very, very closely. He's on there close to the action. Rio's got some heart there. He gets hit by a right hook, and he's hurt.
Rio just stunned by that hook, Steve, and I'll tell you, he deserves this if they give it to him. He's been dominant in this second round so far.
Rio doesn't want to quit. He got heart. There's not much else left. There's DiCapo stepping in there. That bout is over. That bout is stopped. And the winner is Harris. Very impressive fight right there.
He is just elated, this young 17-year-old. Ups his record to 3-1, while Lazaro Rio takes a loss in his first amateur bout. SJC Boxing continues when we come right back. Stay tuned.
Generations of delicious food and the sophistication of a New York atmosphere come together at Gabriello's. The many delicacies of Italy are now in Southwest Florida, waiting for you to enjoy. Authentic Italian cuisine, from tantalizing appetizers to scrumptious desserts and, of course, pasta of every kind. For lunch or dinner, Gabriello's is a dining experience from another world. Gabriello's of New York, minutes away from the Barbara B. Mann Theater, Fort Myers.
We have always felt in harmony with the land.
Chacome, tapiwa, ta skumok, ta tapiachu, kenok anesche, matapiwa, makaspumos, akum.
Help the Soil Conservation Service help our earth. Call us today. We owe it to our children.
Would that be all?
Yes, thank you. What do you think about all this breast cancer stuff?
Well, my sister had a mammogram, and they found a lump in her breast. It was very small, and it didn't hurt, so she didn't even know she had it. But it was cancer. So they operated on it, and it's been 5 years now, and she's still fine. Since then, I get a mammogram every year.
For more information, call the Lee County Breast Screening Program.
Radio check, 1, 2, 3. 666, 7 miles northeast with the cardiac. Roger, Ronan.
Find out about Air Force ROTC college scholarships.
In-flight emergency, Aerovac 666 on the
Because in
ground.
the Air Force, you can go as far as your talent and drive take you. Aim high, Air Force.
High cholesterol kills, but here's good news. The new food labels will help you lower your cholesterol. The labels show you exact amounts of saturated fat that raise your cholesterol. Check the label. If the food's high in saturated fat, don't buy it.
Okay, and here's a replay here with Harris in red and Rio getting hit with a straight left hand right on the button. Comes back with a right hand, leaning a little bit, didn't get full power on that. He was reaching out a little bit too much ahead of himself, but it still was effective.
As Harris went on to defeat Rio in the 10th bout. Coming up, the 11th bout of the evening here at SJC Boxing Night at the Fights. And this round being brought to you by Flea Masters Flea Market in Fort Myers. In the red corner, we've got Gene Mullen, a 20-year-old out of Dunedin, Florida, weighing in at 167 pounds and takes into this bout a 3-1 record. The southpaw is wearing the black trunks. In the blue corner, it's Garcia Perez, a 24-year-older. He's unattached. That means he belongs to no club. He's boxing, or he lives out of Gainesville, Florida, and boxing on his own, wearing blue trunks. It's his ring debut.
Right now, Perez did train for a while, Charlie, in Orlando, but he moved to Gainesville, going to school up there, and as you said, he's not a member of any club at this point. He made the journey down here to fight, and here we go with round one.
Round one underway. Mullen on the left, the 20-year-old and southpaw, versus Perez, the 24-year-old, in the blue trunks. Perez, obviously the shorter of the two, but he has 2 pounds in weight advantage. I'm not sure it is muscle, though.
And as Perez is aggressive, but Mullen is sharp. He's catching him on the way in with counter shots.
Mullen showing some quick fist speed there. There's a left jab right to the chin of Perez. Perez unaffected, though, continues to keep his head low, his fist high, and move in. Now there's a quick flurry by Mullen, just catching the gloves of Perez.
And here we go with a standing 8 count.
Why?
He got hit with a good left hand in that exchange, and referee is being very careful. They don't want these guys getting hurt.
Perez seems to think he's okay, though. He continues and tries to lay in a couple left jabs.
Another good left hand right there.
Oh,
another good left. That one hurt him bad, and there's another standing 8 count.
Caught him right on the chin. And if you ever get hit on the chin, it pushes your jaw up into your skull bone, and that's how you can get knocked out. Referee very careful that Perez is okay. He sees in his eyes his pupils aren't too dilated, and the fight continues.
That's a third standing 8 count, and by rules, the bout will be declared over at the conclusion of the standing 8 count because 3 in 1 round, and that's it. So it's an RSC, referee stopping the contest in the first round.
Perez seems to think he can continue, and he's shaking his head. He's a little upset at the decision, which goes to Gene Mullen out of Dunedin, upping his record to 4-1. Garcia Perez taking a loss in his ring debut at the age of 24. Stay tuned. SJC Boxing continues. Boxing at the beach. Right after these words.
As a pilot, I know the importance of regular maintenance and inspection on my aircraft. And the same is true for the family car. That's why I trust Bob Eskew's transmission.
Bob Eskew's been rebuilding transmissions since 1948. Bob's certified mechanics are trained in the latest computer technology, and you'll save up to 50% off dealer or franchise shop prices.
For transmission and air conditioning repair, you can't afford to bring your car anywhere else.
Bob Eskew's Transmission, Evans and Hanson, and US 41, 1.5 miles south of Gladiola Fort Myers.
In 1955, the Florida Sheriff's Association had the foresight and vision to initiate an intervention program aimed at salvaging these young lives and turning them away from delinquency and crime. 2 years later, their dream became a reality with the birth of the Florida Sheriff's Boys Ranch near Live Oak. The Boys Ranch has grown into a statewide network of 5 residential group care programs and a summer camp known as the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches. Over the years, the youth ranches have served more than 7,500 of Florida's deprived, neglected, abused, and troubled boys and girls. For every child the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches are able to help, there are hundreds waiting in line. Please help us to help them. The Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches. Florida's charity for Florida's children.
This guy can fly. Bang, we got him on the Roz. Just trying to target us. Jam him.
Space technology of the 21st century.
He's pulling a 7G turn out of here.
It's here, now, in the Air Force. Aim high, Air Force.
You're watching WJIC Jones Intercable Channel 12.
And here we go with a replay of Gene Mullen throwing a right jab with a great left hand behind it, landing right on the point of the chin of Garcia Perez, sends him back, and he is, for all intents and purposes, gone. Referee Di Capo is stepping in here to rescue Perez. Win by Mullen. Great performance.
He had just outboxed him in the early round, and that was all he needed to put away the fight early. Coming up, bout number 12, just 2 more bouts left on the card, and this one in the super heavyweight division between a couple of 24-year-old boxers. In the red corner, Steve Idesas, boxing out of Hialeah. In the blue corner, David James, boxing out of Port Charlotte. And David James is just an incredibly tall and lanky athlete. He comes in at 221 pounds, 6'6", with an 86-inch reach, it reads here. Can I believe that's true, Steve?
I'll tell you, that's unbelievable, Charlie. It's bigger than any heavyweight I've seen, bigger than George Foreman, Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali. 86 inches, that's 7 feet 2-inch wingspan. What did you say that was, 14 inches more?
Than his opponent, Steve Idesis. I couldn't believe that when I saw that in a break.
It's just amazing. We're going to see what happens in here. David James is out here with a 2-1 record, as you said, and here we go with the beginning of the first round. Idesis is a football star down in Hialeah with his first bout. James comes out with a jab and a right hand. 1-2 he's throwing.
Idesis, 207 pounds, 6 foot, 72-inch reach. There's that 14-inch reach difference.
Idesis trapped on the ropes already, and James opening up. Hurt him already with a right hand. Jab, right hand.
Idesis making his ring debut, and he's stunned early in the first round, getting a standing 8 count from the referee.
And I'll tell you, too, Charlie, James is tall, got a long reach, as we know, and he hits hard. I know, I work with him in a gym. And he's landing some power right now on Idesis.
James looks like he could possibly box professionally with a little more training.
He certainly has aspirations of being a pro. He started out at an old age, 24. He's hurt Idesis again. He's got him on the ropes.
He's got good, strong legs, and he's putting all that leg power into his punches.
And I'll tell you what, Charlie, the fight's over because Coach Carlos Ulloa has stepped in. That's a retirement by the corner. The coach steps in to rescue his boxer. And the winner is David James from the Blue Diamond Boxing Club. Very impressive.
And his record now is 3-1. James out of the Blue Diamond Boxing Club in Port Charlotte. Steve Idesis, the loser of the quick fight, drops to 0-1. We'll be back with more boxing at the beach right after these words.
The word is out. Footsie's Footwear has deep discounts on name brand athletic shoes for the entire family. With over 10,000 pairs in stock, Footsie's will help you find the shoes you need for an active lifestyle. Choose from Nike, Reebok, Avia, Adidas, and many more in sizes to fit everyone. And don't forget the Bigfoot department with men's sizes 13 to 17. And ladies, Footsie's has many varieties of Sandax sandals. You won't find a better selection than at Footsie's Footwear in the Flea Masters Flea Market, Fort Myers.
Competition is fierce in both the automobile and boat markets today. Everyone has a better deal and a better price on the make and model they're selling. But how do you reach the consumer and let them know about the specific benefits of buying from you? How do you show them the individual cars or boats that you have for sale at your business? Through the Tropical Trader, of course.
Explore the dynamic world of television production and programming with Jones Intercable. Video, audio, computer graphics, live programming. Want to explore all the lanes of the information superhighway? An internship with Jones Intercable could be your ticket. Jones Intercable, your connection to the new world of technology, entertainment, and information.
In 1993, over 80,000 workplace injuries occurred in Florida alone. It can happen to you. Will you know where to go for the right solutions to your workers' compensation problems? Turn to the Workers' Compensation Employee Assistance Office, your first stop and your last stop when you need help. Call toll-free 1-800-342-1741.
Let's take a look, Charlie, at the replay of David James' impressive win over Steve Idesis from Hialeah. He comes in with a long left jab, throws a right hand behind it, catches him high on the head, hurts him right there. James was very impressive with his third win again in 4 fights. He's from the Blue Diamond Boxing Club in Port Charlotte. He's got Idesis trapped on the ropes and steps back, comes back again with another jab, which he's short on, and there's the right hand behind it.
He's got that tremendous wingspan, and that, look, Idesis swings, misses, can't get anywhere near James, and James comes right back with a final right hand before the bout's called. Coming up next, the bout we've all been waiting for, the 13th and final on the card. It's between the super heavyweights, Terry Marlborough and Darryl Morgan.
Terry Marlborough came back from Kansas as the national bronze medalist in the PAL tournament. He's only 18 years of age. This is in the heavyweight division. He weighed 203 pounds. His opponent, Darryl Morgan, who weighed in at 202 pounds from Augusta, Georgia. He is currently the 7th-rated boxer in the country. This is going to be a war, I can assure you that. It's in the open class. They are boxing 3-minute rounds, and this is Florida against Georgia, the ultimate fight we can have.
Marba in the black shirt, black shorts, boxing out of the red corner. Morgan in the blue shirt, blue trunks, boxing out of the blue.
Marber trained by David Baldwin up there in Dade City and Joel Hudson there in Augusta. Here we go with the first round.
The two fighters come right at each other, and it's Marber to land the first blow. Right to the chest of Morgan.
Now Marber wants to use his height and reach advantage, circle around Morgan and throw some combinations. Morgan wants to get in close, work the body, then come up to the head. We'll see what happens. That's the game plan for these boxers.
Morgan scoring early with a couple of jabs to the stomach of Marba.
Morgan is a stronger puncher, stronger fighter. He's in close, shorter, strong. Marber is a good boxer. He got to rely on his movement, speed, and his boxing ability.
Marba sporting a 4-inch reach advantage. Lands a couple of jabs before the fighters tie it up. Referee breaks him apart, gives warning, and fight resumes. Marba now landing a jab to the face of Morgan. Morgan can't get in that long reach.
Charlie, let's get a couple of quick final thank yous to Automated Business Machines and Jim Shin over there. Also, Lou Tercetti out there at the Sleep Right Sleep Shop on Cleveland Avenue. And finally, a special thank you to the Southwest Florida Community Foundation. They recently approved a grant which we use for purchasing equipment for the kids, so we want to thank them for that.
And thanks to Father and Son, sponsors of rounds number 1. Nobody beats Father and Son Moving and Storage.
And least we forget, a special thank you to the Bay Oaks Recreation Center staff, Vicky, Paul, Nancy, all the good people out there at Bay Oaks.
Marber now jabbing away on Morgan. Morgan standing flat-footed, both fighters in the center of the ring.
Marber looks very sharp right now, keeping his distance, throwing good counter punches at Morgan, making him follow him.
Using that long jab to keep Morgan at bay.
Yeah, then he ties him up. He's getting a warning from referee D.D. Capua, but he's doing a smart thing.
Morgan again missing. A glancing blow against the face of Marba.
Nice combination by Marba. They're throwing 2, 3, and 4 punch combos. They're not throwing one at a time.
Again, Morgan swinging and missing wildly. Marba tapping away at the body with that left jab. So far, I would say Marba has landed the majority of the solid punches. Morgan perhaps taking as many swings, but missing on the majority.
Marber looking good. He's working that jab, keeping his right distance, works the body occasionally.
Peppering that jab to the face of Morgan. Morgan now lunging.
Good right, left, right by Marber. Then he ties up Morgan. Then he spins off with another combination.
All punches scoring.
Looking good for Terry Marber.
Another score there for Marber. And Morgan backing Marber up against the ropes before an uppercut to the body does a little damage, but nothing of consequence. Again, another uppercut to the body. While they're tied up, no point scored there.
Yeah, Marber's got to be careful of Morgan's power in close. He's got to keep him at distance like he's been doing early in the round. There's a nice combination by Marber, 3-punch combo.
Morgan just not being able to land anything solid.
Good round for Terry Marber.
No doubt about it, he definitely won that round in my book. This next round coming up is being brought to you by Gabriello's of New York. Fine dining and Italian specialties. You can't beat Gabriello's of New York.
Good place to eat, Charlie.
This the last of our bouts. We'd also like to take the opportunity to thank some of our other sponsors who've been with us in supporting this program so we can bring it to you.
Yes, we've got some great sponsors. Rib City Barbecue once again. We've got the Buccaneer Resort Inn, the Days Inn. We've got a whole host of sponsors. By the way, if anyone wants to get involved, we need some sponsors for the next promotion, which is February 25th. Call me at 334-2105 or come by the gym, 2105 Jackson Street in downtown Fort Myers. We're there Monday through Friday between 5 and 7:30 p.m.
And the boxers are set to resume round 2 of this super heavyweight division fight. Terry Marber probably landing more solid blows in the first round than Darryl Morgan.
He's starting out this round, Charlie, working off that jab, right hand to the body, keeping the right distance. So far, fighting a smart fight. He does not want to get in close with Daryl Morgan, who is extremely strong on the inside.
Morgan is strong at 6'0" and 202 pounds. He's got a lot of power behind his punches, but he just can't seem to land any because Marba has that reach advantage, and he's using it so effectively in this fight.
Good combinations by Marba in there. There's a good chance you'll see one of these boxers at the 1996 Olympics, two of the best in the country right here, and they are putting on a fight. The crowd's really into this one.
Both fighters separate in the middle of the ring.
It's a good right hand by Morgan right there. Marba comes back with his own left hook by Morgan. Morgan's closed the distance, and that's the difference in this round. Morgan's gotten in close where we can reach Marba, but Marba's hanging in there tough, and he's given as much as he's taken. This is turning into the fight we thought it would.
Marba has executed an excellent jab most of the fight. Now he's showing he's got the uppercut in his arsenal as well. Now Morgan with a couple of body blows. Marba snaps right back with an uppercut to the chin. That one hurt, as you see Morgan comes in and tries to get close. Couple more, combination of the jaw by Marba.
Marba needs to get back with his double jab and his jab and keep his distance, because he's given Morgan a chance to get in close where he's dangerous, and it's turned into a real war. We thought it would, and it has. The crowd is really going crazy.
Both fighters flat-footed. There's some
heavy shots by Morgan.
To the head.
Uppercut in there. Morgan is really landing some power right now. There's Marba back with a nice combination. Good right hand by Marba. Left uppercut in there.
Morgan has realized this far into the fight that the only way he's going to get a shot at Marba with that reach advantage is to get inside, get up close, and try and do some damage. He's employing this tactic effectively so far here in the second round.
Good right hand by Marba. He leaned into that punch, caught Morgan, and Morgan is hurt. He's hanging on right now.
He caught him right on the chin.
Looks like he's a little bit wobbly.
You saw his head snap back.
The referee gave him a little extra time. Here's another right hand. Got him hurt again with uppercut by Marba. There's no quitting either one of these fighters.
Now Morgan getting inside, scoring some on the uppercut, but missing on the couple crosses.
This is amazing, Charlie. They just don't stop. They keep on coming. And right at the bell, they fight right after the bell. Landing hard shots. What a round. I say Marba still had an edge in that close round right there.
I'd have to give the edge to Marba there, too, as well. I agree with you, Steve.
And there's Dave Baldwin getting in there to get Marba taken care of for the final 3 minutes. Joel Hudson over there in the blue corner with Morgan, his charge. You've got the 7th rated heavyweight in the country versus the recent bronze medalist of the National Pals in a war. We got 3 minutes to go.
I thought Morgan also exhibited a little bit more efficiency in his punches in the second round than he did in the first. Perhaps he scored more points than Marba, but I still give the round to Marba.
He did. What happened was Morgan closed the distance, was able to get inside with his power. And I'll tell you, it may be a little difficult for the judges because we have some inexperienced judges in this match, which could be a little bit dangerous because this is such an important bout. And there's a lot of pressure on the judges. If you judge it like professional boxing where power counts, Morgan did real well in that second round. If you judge it like amateur boxing where the power doesn't count, strictly the number of punches landed, then Marba had the edge. So I hope the judges take that into consideration because they are inexperienced overall.
We're ready to begin round 3 of this final bout of the evening. This round being brought to you by Flea Masters Flea Market. What's happening here, Steve?
What's happened is the referee has taken a point away from both boxers because they're talking to each other, they're egging each other on, and trying to get the upper hand psychologically. It's not allowed, and the referee has taken charge, and he took a point from both boxers, which actually cancel each other out. So here we are with the final round. There's Marba coming out strong with his combinations.
A deduction for trash talk, huh? Look at the crowd getting into it. They're loving this fight. Both boxers giving it everything they've got.
This is the best amateur bout. There's a right hand that shook Morgan bad.
Morgan was stunned. You saw his feet and his knees wobble.
He's holding on right now.
Both fighters momentarily separate, and the action ensues.
Looks like Morgan's got himself together now. His head is a little cleared.
The referee backing Morgan and Marba Off the ropes.
Good left hook by Marber. If Marber can just double up with that hook, body and then head, he might put Morgan down, but he's landing all head shots.
Marber's landing some blows on the inside
Good
of the chest.
spin off the rope right there. He spins off the rope, comes back with a right hand, and tie each other up. What a round.
Morgan, probably his best round so far, is landing 3 or 4 blows there to the head of Marba. Now he's got him in the corner, up against the ropes. An uppercut, another one. Scoring on Marba.
Good left hook by Morgan. Marber comes back with his own combination. They're fighting on heart right now.
Morgan delivering the more solid blows here in the third round.
And the blood is spraying from Marber when he's getting hit with those hooks. Unbelievable action. There's Marber coming back, and Morgan still fighting.
Now Morgan delivers an uppercut and backs Marba into the corner. Marba in some kind of trouble. He's a little tired now. Not dominating the fight by any means. This could go either way.
And Morgan sensing the opportunity. He's tired too, pushing himself. They're giving all they have now because they know they got the rest of the night to rest. When that bell rings, it's all over. They're giving all they have right now. There's a right hand by Marber.
Morgan scoring with an uppercut, but a referee calls it illegal.
Yeah, he was holding with the left hand and throwing a right uppercut underneath.
And he goes right back into the hold and delivers a little rapid punch to the head. Morgan, so far, probably having an edge in this third round. Is it too little, too late, though? We'll have to wait and see, as I think Marba, you and I both agreed, won the first 2 rounds.
Right. Marber's got the fight won unless there's something dramatic finishes here, unless we have a problem with the scoring system, because you just don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen because we have inexperienced judges. A good right hand by Marber. Hurt Morgan again.
Right, caught him right on the chin. You saw Morgan drop back there a bit, but he comes back with
Morgan coming back. It's unbelievable, Charlie.
An uppercut by Morgan.
Crowd is going crazy.
Morgan. A glancing blow with the right, and the referee separates.
And that is it. What a fight. Unbelievable.
Great finish by Morgan. Both fighters giving it all they had in the final round. Terry Marber perhaps the edge in the first 2, but the decision goes to Darryl Morgan.
No, that's a bad decision, Charlie. No.
A decision is done. 17-9 now, the record of Darryl Morgan. And let's take a look at the fighters as the decision was announced. Darryl Morgan on the right, Terry Marber on the left. Morgan falling to the ground in disbelief that he won a fight that he probably should have lost. Terry Marber visibly upset. Morgan the victor, and I think this win surprised even himself. I don't think he was expecting to win this
Charlie,
fight.
Total disbelief and shock. The crowd is booing.
Are they going to start throwing food? I hope not. I got an umbrella just in case, but...
We're going to have to make this a rematch to settle this one, I'll tell you, because that was a war. We knew it was going to be.
And look, by the judges' table there, somebody already given them a bit of flack.
The judges are in disagreement back there. It looks like they're arguing outside the ring.
You're like, did you just watch the same fight I did? Are those contacts or prescriptions you're wearing? What's going on?
But that was a fight, I'll tell you. And it was hard because Morgan landed the harder punches. Marber landed the more numbers of punches. Controversy, yes, but Morgan handed the decision.
For Steve Canton, I'm Charles Hidalgo saying thanks for watching.
And good night.